So this is what they're supposed to make me forget about.
Brains. And so this gets into what's called there are four different techniques and technologies that can pipe voices into an individual's head. And once you can do that, you can control them using neuro-linguistic programming techniques. You're rewiring their thought processes and brains. And so this gets into what's called offensive information warfare. And they used it, I believe, in the Gulf War to tell the enemy at that time, lay down your guns, this is Allah. And it worked pretty well, because hearing voices which have no direction or sound, you have to assume that it's some spiritual entity. So it works pretty well. And then, I don't know if I'm going to get into this, but there's something called hyper game theory. How do you, they want to see if they can manipulate people to do things that are irrational, but also walk them to their death. And so you can call it a eugenics program even. And they need to sample all cultures, language throughout the world to define the probability matrices of which tricks, techniques, deception works. So how
designed to interact with the human nervous system in order to remotely pick up on someone's neural network or EEG, and not only receive that and monitor it, but manipulate it and place it back into the victim to control their emotions or control their actions or bodily functions for that matter. The other more recent term we have for that is EEG heterodyning or EEG cloning. The difference between EEG heterodyning and EEG cloning would be, let's say, me remotely receiving your EEG and then duplicating it and putting that in another person to give them your same thoughts or feelings or physical reactions. EEG heterodyning would be receiving your EEG, manipulating it to put it back inside your head to give us a desired physical reaction or emotional reaction.
So there's clear indication that rewiring of some sort is happening. That your brain is being played with, your thoughts, your reactions, all of that is played with for you to react this way. And then they try to make you accept this manipulation, to identify with this. They play with your brain and use these voices via these ways of piping in voices. And they try to sound as acceptive, that concerned. That's like, no, we mapped you. It's you when you were a kid. But in fact, when they say EEG heterodyning, I think they were like, chances now it's EEG mining. We saw how you experienced things when you were a kid. I was like, first of all, when I was a kid, I was not experiencing this. I would not see this kid and feel experiences of that nature, or stimulations of that nature, of any nature. You are forcing me to experience that. On top of that, what you're saying is, you make me experience this the way I used to experience when I was a kid. Matter of fact, now this like, no, it's like, that's what you, today even is you. Like, you know how many videos where there's children or whatever, and I never experienced this. So obviously my brain is being rewired. That today they even only want me to accept that this is manipulation that was experienced as a child. I was experienced as a child, but today is you. No, it's you. You expressed that as you. You expressed it then. You expressed it today. This is you. When they have renowned to make people have experiences that were not expressed naturally, that they will rewire your brain one way or another, your thought process, your reactions to experience this way. But on top of that, to add the cherry on top of that, regardless of who's talking to you, that this trash have these tactics that have been systematically pedophilia-centric. Listen to this.
That is EEG heterodyning or EEG cloning. Putting that in another person to give them your same thoughts or feelings or physical reactions. EEG heterodyning would be receiving your EEG, manipulating it to put it back inside your head to give us a desired physical reaction or emotional reaction.
It is dramatic. It's somebody trying to end my life. It's somebody trying to end who I am as a person. It's somebody trying to take over my mind, putting thoughts of pedophiles. Like, it's disgusting, disgusting. It is dramatic. It's somebody trying to end my life. It's somebody trying to end who I am as a person. It's somebody trying to take over my mind, putting thoughts of pedophiles. Like, it's disgusting, disgusting, disgusting thing. It is dramatic. It's somebody trying to end my life. It's somebody trying to end who I am as a person. It's somebody trying to take over my mind, putting thoughts of pedophiles. Like, this disgusting, disgusting, disgusting things. You saw where I was going with that first word. Disgusting things that I don't even want to talk about because it makes me sick. I don't even like those words in my mind. But it is what it is. So I have no choice now but to acknowledge that there are people in my surroundings or whatever they're doing. I don't know how they do it. I don't care. I don't know if it's through weapons. I don't know.
I also often see highly disturbing pornographic images and videos, including highly disturbing pedophilia type of images and videos when V2K, or voice to skull. This involves the projection of voices, what is referred to as malodorance. This is the alteration of the smell sensation so that I am often made to smell various things, including smoke, burning, dirty diaper, or baby powder, which they sometimes combine with the pedophilia type of torture, including the threat.
This is a common breakdown tactic of belief systems and the human will. In no-touch torture, the techniques are more psychologically specialized for each target. Most common examples include homosexual targets that are forced with voices that are derogatory to their lifestyle and similar mental images. Almost all targets are forced to view child pornography in their minds.
So I told them that I know what you are trying to do, and I started laughing. And then I said again out loud, "You'll never take my will, ASS." So just to show them that I meant what I said, I kept playing with my dog, and even though that attacks continue, I don't let them get me. Today, they continue with the programming of perversion, but this time they are aiming in the use of people, better said young people, also children and home.
So you hear a constant tactic here. I've been slowing down when you need to hear what I'm saying in regard of like these testimonies. So they have this disgusting tactics of rewiring your brain these pedophilia ways. So when I'm looking at something like this, and they're like, "No, it's you when you're a kid, it's you now," and you know that they have the ability to rewire you in these disgusting ways, and you know they falsify and manipulate the brain in these ways. And they try to sound so sincere, sensitive. It's like, no, I'm so concerned. When the truth is, the job is today to force you to experience these things. But on top of that, you find out that they work for governmental entities with this kind of issues.
Homosexual, child pornography, watchdog, internet crimes against
Smoke, burning, dirty diaper, or baby powder, which they sometimes combine with the pedophilia type of torture, including the threat.
This is a common breakdown tactic of belief systems and the human will. In no-touch torture, the techniques are more psychologically specialized for each target. Most common examples include homosexual targets that are forced with voices that are derogatory to their lifestyle and similar mental images. Almost all targets are forced to view child pornography in their minds. And
So I told them that I know what you are trying to do, and I started laughing. And then I said again out loud, you'll never take my will, ASS. So just to show them that I meant what I said, I kept playing with my dog, and even though that attacks continue, I don't let them get me. Today, they continue with the programming of perversion, but this time they are aiming in the use of people, better said young people, also children and homosexuals.
To child pornography watchdog Internet Crimes Against Children Child Online Protective Services. The Defense Department network consistently ranks in the top tier of Internet service providers for trafficking child pornography. It ranks.
So, this is a program run by the government. We know the Department of Defense has been working hard to alter the mind and utilizing electromagnetic technology to see how they can alter the mind. Now, these bottom feeders doing these things to us are just who is contracted to implement these tactics. But to find out that the DoD entities running this program have these issues.
19th of nearly 3,000 networks surveyed in 2018.
That they are 19th out of 2,900 in sharing trafficking for child porn shows the reality of this. Not only they are rewiring our brain in these disgusting ways, not only they are trying to convince you that this way of experiencing things should be accepted because it's something that, in my case, it's like they're mapping is you when you were a kid. Remember what you? It's like, no, I'm a grown man. I know who I am. I will never have this reaction unless somebody's in my brain rewire my brain in these ways. And if something is able to make me experience things that I would not experience naturally. This is why I will never identify, regardless of who is interacting with me via voice to call. Target individuals stay strong. They are not. Their job is to get you to accept these things. And as a target individual with V2K, voice to call, you will be manipulated to experience things that are not organically experienced. For most of us, target individuals. This man, Robert Dawkins, said it very well. They are rewiring your thoughts, your thought process, and your brain. Your thought process is experienced in different ways. Your experiences are no longer organic. And this man, who is even Dr. Hall, said they have this EEG heterodyning, I think, or dining, or I'm not even pronouncing properly. But in the way they're doing, they try to make me accept this. Is like, no, it's EEG mining. That instead of making you experience things that are being rewired for you to experience this way, it's just mining. It's you. When you hear somebody that have nothing to do with me, I've been saying these things like my brain is no longer mine. It feels like my brain has been rewired to experience things that I will not experience naturally. And when they make me experience these things, they're like, no, what we're doing is we're mapping to you as a kid. But in fact, it's you today, it's you yesterday, before, it's trash ass. Now I can even watch the album cover of somebody because there's a child, a black kid there. It's like, no, you see that? That's you, we mapped it. And they try to sound sensible. When they say this, no, it was you then, it's you now. Hear this fucking trash working for governmental entities where they have truly issues with pedophilia. And because today they've been manipulating my brain in this scattered way, they want me to accept it, to be accepted of these things. And you hear the nose campaign. This is governmental entities contracting these bottom fears to make a target individual accept these manipulations. When you hear these clear tactics of utilizing this pedophilia type of torture to break you down. Stay strong, target individual, and understand that this trash will manipulate you to experience nasty reaction toward children. And they will condition your brain every day of your life to make you accept these things. For some of you who don't get this manipulation these ways, please understand, you will hear these tactics utilized on so many of us. For me to be able to capture this and hear people say the same thing that I said, to say these things in this fashion, should be an indication that altering the mind and reaction and making you react this way is a typical tactic, and it's the purpose to break you down. So when I see this trash, regardless of if somebody who is in my race or not my race, I understand they are contracted to make you accept these things, and you have to be strong.